Where I am now, better than before. Through those open doors, where I am now, where I am now, I'm in a special place. I'll take a walk in grace, where I am now. It's now time for the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. That's FYI Radio Show with your host, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton. I'm Ed Everett, the co-host. The music that you hear in the background is none other than Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton's Where I Am Now. Where I am now. And if you want to see us live in WGPL 1350 studio, WMVA 88.9 FM studio, all you have to do is go to Edward Everett's Facebook page or Miss Yolanda the Lady Facebook page. And guess what? You can see us live right here in the studio. And if you want to hear us all over the world, all you have to do is go to 1400 AM, 1350 AM. .com, click and listen live, go to church webcast, and guess what? You can click and hear us all over the world. And now I want to introduce to some and present to others the host of the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton, and a pleasant good morning to you.
Good morning, Mr. E. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Would you, could you, will you be my neighbor?
Let's welcome our neighbors. Let's welcome WGPL 1350 AM listeners.
Peace, 95.3 FM, WMVA 88.9 FM, and WPCE 1400 AM.
Facebook Live is on and popping. Let's also welcome Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. We promise we'll shout you out.
Like, share, comment, and subscribe.
Like, share, comment, subscribe. We got 2 platforms over there on YouTube at FYI Radio Show, host Yolanda Hinton, or go to Crystal Records 1, CRISTO Records 1. Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe, and we promise we'll shout you out.
Like, share, comment, and subscribe, and you'll shout them out.
Sure will.
Shout out.
All right, this is Fun Friday.
That's right. This is Fun Friday, and we're so glad that Friday is here. The temperature on the outside is about 70 degrees, and it is cloudy.
And a sprinkly raining. I think we're going to have, 90% chance of rain today?
70% chance of rain.
Same thing. It's high. So you all make sure you have your umbrellas and things. And but it's going to be nice. Regardless of the rain. I love the rain. It is really yielding some beautiful things.
That's right. If you haven't got your grass cut now, you got to wait till Saturday for it dry up. But it is good because the bumblebees done been around. The bugs in the ground are coming around. You done got all your mixtures of seeds and everything sowed in the ground. So now you can wait and see the beautiful grass coming around.
Mr. E, we have a new pope.
That's right. We got Pope Leo. What is it?
Is it the 14th?
14th, yeah.
I think it is.
Pope Leo the 14th. He's an American.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's an American Pope, and he doesn't speak too much English neither.
Well, that's right. Because he had been in our land, but he is an American, which is really kind of nice.
That's right. It's good to be American, and it's good to have a Pope that's in America from Chicago.
From
Chicago, and cannot speak any English.
I tell you what, I hope he does a great job. A lot of people depending on him. A lot of people were so excited about, choosing this new Pope. We're so sorry for the last Pope who has gone up to glory.
That's right.
And
so you say.
Well, he was a pope.
So you say.
He in good places.
He's in the holy
So
cell.
all I can say is, thank God for his service, and
Yeah.
now we have someone else to serve. The Catholic Church. This is a Catholic Church. They love this type of thing, and so
I like
all
all
best.
the robes and all that. It was
Oh
beautiful.
my
The
goodness!
colors.
It was
of the
so
robe.
many
Yeah.
that came out at March. It was like amazing.
I like the color and the robes, and I said, "Wow, there are beautiful colors, and the staffs and all of them coming together
Absolutely.
under one roof, and the sanctuary, the cathedral where they was at. It
Beautiful.
was so beautiful. I mean, hey,
Yes, but Miss D, guess what we have
what do
on
we?
on Fun Friday?
We got what?
The current job list.
Well, if you know you need a job, get a job, get a job, get
Where
a
is
job.
where are the numbers? I'm been looking for the numbers. I really don't know what's going on as far as what our numbers are, jobs that are coming into, the U.S. of A. Have you been keeping up with it, Miss D?
No, I have not been keeping up with jobs. I know that your president don't want to make the listing of it because if it's low, he gonna have to find some people some work to do. But if it's high unemployment, then he figured that he got to
Well,
get some work to done.
we
for
have
people.
plenty of jobs right here, Mr. E. Are you ready?
I am ready. Don't forget that United Postal Service and Home Depot, Lowe's, and Tita's, Wendy's, McDonald's, United Postal Service, Federal Express, and all of them are having summer programs. Don't forget, if you have been incarcerated and you're looking for a job, these folks got a program set aside
Absolutely.
just for you. And all you got to do is go down and apply. And don't hold back no information whatsoever, like you never been incarcerated. It will find you. So be honest when you go out there and fill out an application. Chesapeake Care Corporation is looking for a dental director. The Art Center is looking for a development manager.
Fear to Freedom. They need a donor engagement associate. And you have Suffolk Public Library. This job closes 5:15. They need a library outreach associate.
Norfolk Botanical Garden is looking for a butterfly house interim, a garden guide, a parking crew, a facility technician too.
All right, we have the Virginia MOCA. They need a senior development officer. And the Curtis Group. They need a consultant as well as an associate consultant.
The Virginia Living Museum is looking for a CFO part-time, a science camp educator summer camp, exhibit coordinator, event staff position, Aspen mobility mentor. That's at the Catholic Church of Virginia.
Yes, the Catholic Charities of Eastern Virginia. That's a Aspire Mobility. And then you have a Strive Mentor in that same organization. They're looking for someone. Academy for Nonprofit Excellence, TCC. They need a program specialist part-time.
And TCC also, Student Resource Center, is looking for a lead case manager. And the Norfolk Public Library is looking for Connect You with Your Community, this summer camp staff. Facts, $12.50 to $16.50 an hour.
Okay, that's organization fact. Summer camp staff is needed $12.50 to $16. That's pretty
That's
good.
a delivery driver.
All right, so let's do the Suffolk Public Library. This job closes 5/5/2025. They need a delivery driver. Again, Suffolk Public Library. Then you have Downtown Norfolk Public Realm Manager is needed.
That's right. And the YWCA SHR is looking for administrator advocate, a wide women purpose economic empowerment academy manager, a crisis service specialist, a counselor 1 and 2, a resident service assistant night and weekends, and a resident service assistant part-time, a shelter management, a director of human resource, Virginia Beach Special Victim Square advocate, and a victim advocate manager.
All right, we have
Advocacy.
Norfolk Botanical Garden. They need a garden guide. And for kids, they need a development associate. They need a family case manager in Chesapeake, a housing specialist in Suffolk, intake specialist, maintenance technician, prevention and diversion specialist, a receptionist, and a direct support specialist. That's the Penn Ministry.
That's right. Junior Achievement of Greater Hampton Roads is looking for education and marketing support specialist interim. And the YWCA of Southampton Roads is looking for a crisis specialist, a counselor 1 and 2, a resident service assistant night and weekends, an assistant part-time, a shelter manager, a director of human resource, administrative advocate, a Virginia Beach specialist, victim squad advocate, and a victim advocacy manager, and a job coach, direct support of the Sugar Plum Bakery at $18 an hour.
Absolutely. Okay, we have Tidewater Community College, a major gift officer, and HRCAP. They need a community engagement director. These jobs are already posted on our pages, our personal pages, our FYI pages. LinkedIn, go get these jobs. Great jobs. And
That's right.
We bring them to you almost once a week.
That's right.
And so, look, y'all check them out. And know that if you need one, you can get one. If you have relatives, pass the list on or post them on Facebook. But if anybody that needs a job should be able to have one.
And don't be so proud that you can't go get a job. It doesn't make a difference if you got to work in a pie shop. Get out there and get you a job. Stop sitting around waiting on them because you got an excuse. Well, they're not going to hire me because no, they got special programs out there right now. Mamas, y'all stop that. Daddies, y'all stop that. Letting them cheer and tell you all that they can't get a job because they was incarcerated. Well, they can because they got programs set aside for that.
And thank God for that, a second chance.
That's
everybody
right.
needs a second chance. And so there are jobs out here for those that have been incarcerated. There are jobs out here for those that are young and first timers that want a job. There are things out here, but you got to look, search. And I tell you what, the internet is a great, great place to look and discover your potential.
So get that job.
Absolutely. So look, this is Fun Friday. I am so glad this is the weekend, but I had a wonderful week. What are you doing this weekend, Misty? What's going on?
Well, this weekend, every restaurant in the city gonna be full.
It is. That's right.
Because Mother's Day is here, you all. Everybody that need to, and plus it's women's. Everybody, you gotta remember, fellas, go ahead and get the teddy bears, buy them for your children so they can give to their mamas, because every restaurant around in the 757 will be full.
And it should be.
And happy Mother's Day to all the mothers.
We want to say good morning to Antoine Newsom. How are you, young man? Sheila Robbins, good morning. Happy Mother's Day to you, beautiful. All you out here in, we have some over here. Frederick Douglass live. Good morning on Instagram. Yeah. MD.Revo join. Thank you all so much for joining us on Fun Friday. Thank you for your support. Tell us what's going on in your world. Tell us what you're going to do for the weekend. And if you know of any great thing happening, let us know. But this is FYI's Fun Friday segment. What's in your closet? Issues concerning women.
That's what it's all about. I like talking about issues concerning women because that can help a man to understand a woman.
Well, I tell you what, it's not an issue, but it is definitely a celebration on today. Mother's Day is coming up on Sunday.
Oh,
wow. Oh, wow. Who doesn't love their mom? We've been talking about our moms this week. We talked Wednesday about moms and how sons love moms. But moms, you're not just loved by your sons. You're loved by your daughters, and you're just loved, because being a mother is a very, very special thing. We want to first go over the history of Mother's Day.
That's right, the history of Mother's Day.
In the United States, it's rooted in both peace and activism, which I did not know that it was attached to activism, and the desire to honor mothers. Of course, we knew that part. But it evolved from a local effort to promote peace to a nationally recognized holiday honoring mothers. The key figures in the history included Anne Reeves Jarvis, whose daughter, Anna Jarvis, spearheaded the movement to make Mother's Day a national holiday.
Wow.
So the early influences was Anne Reeves Jarvis. In the years before the Civil War, Anne Reeves began Mother's Day work clubs to teach proper child care, and later used them to promote reconciliation after the war. It wasn't just, Mother's Day giving mothers something nice, but it was really their issues concerning women, and there were women out there to make sure these things were problems and things were solved. It says in 1870, Julia Ward Howe, a suffragette, wrote the Mother's Day Proclamation calling for women to unite for peace.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Then there were local celebrations, Mr. E. Julia Calhoun Blakely inspired a local Mother's Day in Michigan in the 1870s, and Mary Towle Session and Frank Herron also contributed to early Mother's Day efforts.
Isn't it amazing how you have to go and fight for Mother's Day and for days off, that to appreciate every day should be Mother's Day, and everybody should take the time out to appreciate your mother.
Absolutely. Mothers have, they have challenges, and they have so many things that they deal with. We're going to talk about that in a minute with African American women and raising children. But the history is deep. It says Anne Jarvis' death, she began a campaign to establish a National Mother's Day to honor her mother's legacy. In 1908, Anna Jarvis held the first Mother's Day service in West Virginia, which gained momentum and spread to other areas. Then you have the national recognition efforts to lead official designation of the second Sunday in May as Mother's Day by President Woodrow Wilson in 1914. All right, then as a personal day, Anna envisioned Mother's Day as a personal day to honor individual mothers, hence the singular Mother's Day. That's where that came from. And then the early celebration included family dinners, religious services, cards, gifts, giving. The custom of sending cards and giving gifts became increasingly popular alongside family gatherings.
And that's wonderful. And mothers should be appreciated for all that they have to do. For all that mamas have to do. They do wonderful jobs. Whether you and your mama getting along or not getting along. I was listening to a song the other day, Miss Hinton, and I'm not going to take too long on it. It was made by Tupac. A lot of folks may not know Tupac, but it says, "Dear Mama." But, the thing about it, in that song, his mama was incarcerated when she was pregnant.
Yes.
And, and when she delivered him, she was still on that drug. But regardless of how much drug she was on, she still provided by doing anything she could possibly do to help raise her babies.
Wow, that's a mother for you.
That's
but I
right.
tell you what, there are key biblical themes related to mothers. The Bible says honor and respect.
That's right.
Mother. This is a very key thing for us, because when you honor mother and father, your days will be long. The Bible says, upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. The biblical consistently emphasizes the importance of honoring parents, which includes showing respect and gratitude to mothers. God really looks at this position as a very high.
That's
esteem.
right. That's right. Mama holds a high esteem into every man, woman, boy, or girl's life. A mother is nothing but a special person.
Mothers as blessings. The scripture, like Proverbs 31, depict mothers as blessings, with children rising to call them blessed and husbands praising them for their virtue.
That's right.
I love that. That Proverb 31, who can find a virtuous woman?
Yeah.
She is productive. She is honored. She is wise. She's beautiful. She carries herself in elegance and excellence. And this is what the Bible says. This is what mothers, that virtue they should have. Mothers as educators. Of course, a mother is always going to teach.
That's right.
The Bible encourages children to listen to their parents' teachings, recognizing the value of wisdom and guidance from mothers. Now, listen, mother. This is what the Bible says you should be doing. You shouldn't be teaching them things outside of what's good and what's perfect. And you got to teach them about God, and you got to give them a God consciousness awareness. You got to take them to church. You got to do a lot of things. You got to teach them about the world, and about the world's money and everything. There's so many things that a mother has to do, and she has to, give them the wisdom. A lot of kids fall through the crack because of lack of knowledge. And if mothers don't take the time to sit down and when they're in the womb and teach them, they're going to come out with not being able to be well-rounded. We want our children to be well-rounded, and mothers educating them is key to making well-rounded individuals.
Do you think that some of the mothers, while we're on that topic right there, do you think that mothers has the priority in this day has changed their priority from going to work and instead of nurturing their children?
I think most mothers love their children. Most mothers love their children. And most mothers in this day and time probably have to work. That is a sign of love. We just talked about the virtuous woman. She was a businesswoman. She wasn't nobody sitting around just messing with bonbons. This woman was a virtuous woman, and work was one of the things that she did. So, I do encourage women to have something, productive to create or do to show their children, how life really is. You've got to play your role, do your part. But I also feel as though mothers have to take time to mother. They have to take time to educate. They have to take time to make sure this child comes up well-rounded. Also, it says God's comfort. Oh my goodness. Isaiah 66:13 compares God's comfort to a mother's comfort. Now, goodness well, we talked about Wednesday, men and how they love their mother. That comfort and that security is something that mothers have that children want and need.
Desire, they want
absolutely
to have it, yeah.
And that's what we give. We give comfort. That's why our children come to us. We have that sweet word, that love, that touch. That's what God has given us, that gift. And then mothers as symbol of God's love. Some scriptures use the analogy of a mother's love to illustrate the unconditional love of God.
That's right.
And when you have a child coming up, Mr. E, a child is going through all kind of changes. They're doing all kind of things. They're making all kind of mistakes. They're doing things sometimes right or wrong. And a mother's right there to embrace them and say, look, come on, keep going,
You can do it.
You can do it.
Yeah. Sometimes mother has so much great love in them. You wonder where they get all the wisdom, where they get all that knowledge from, that they can almost fix anything.
Absolutely.
You get an old regular airplane, let an airplane break out of wood. Mom know how to come back, put a Band-Aid on the airplane, know how to stick it together and fly to get and can encourage you. You get a boo-boo. On your knee. Mama can do something to her like she's a magician, that she can touch it and all the pain go away. What great mothers. Where do they get all that in it, that knowledge, that wisdom, and that nurturing from? It had to come from God.
Absolutely. My mom was a doctor, lawyer, cook, advocate, a teacher, a minister. She was it all. Prayer warrior, seamstress. I mean, she was everything.
That's right.
That's a mother.
That's right. And my mama was also one of the greatest women in the whole wide world. I mean, my mom wore old old house coat back in the days of old. And in those house coats, Miss Hinton, that come with everything. My mama was everything that she's supposed to be, and had it right there in her house coat to prove every inch of the way. Go every inch, every mile. If you need a yo-yo string, mama had one of those hidden in that pocket. Everything that mama need, everything that mama could do, she was right there to perform and to do it for you.
Well, I am so glad to be a mother. I'm a mother of two, grandmother of one, and talking about something that I adore. This is something God gave me that I prayed for. And He gave me this job to serve my children, and that I have. And I'll do it again 100 times again, because it's something that I think it is so special. And to be able to love and care for a child, teach them, show them the way, and just see them grow in God, grow in their lives, grow. It's just a marvelous, marvelous feeling. But Mr. E, a lot of times people laugh and say, mothers have their roles and they're different in different races. We kind of like pulled up a few things that African American women are kind of like go to, but we also, as mothers, sometimes we mother a little bit different. And since this is Fun Friday, Miss D, I just wanted to laugh at some of the things that they say about us as African American women. They say how we are more stern. African American women have that look in their eye. I can remember my mother, with that look, giving that look. They say we are more. Let's see, what's the word for it? Where's your? It's just like we have a unique experience.
That's right.
I'll put it like that. We do things like other mothers, but let's get a little bit serious, because there are some things that we deal with that other races
individually.
So while all mothers share the fundamental goal of raising healthy and well-adjusted children, Black mothers in the United States navigate a unique set of circumstances. They can shape their parenting experiences and approaches. It's crucial to understand that Black motherhood is not a monolith, and individual experiences vary widely. However, some recurring themes and influences emerge from research. Mr. E, what is one of them?
Well, one of the things that you got to remember is that they're protective motherings. Yeah. They love to protect their babies. Black mothers often engage in protecting mothering, actively preparing their child to particularly sons, for potential racist bias and discrimination they may encounter in society. They can involve epic conversations about racism, and strategize for negativity discriminators situations. They may also restrict their children activity out of concern for their safety in certain environments.
Yeah.
In other words, mama knows about racism, knows how in the world mama knows about racism, and how she gonna tell a young man, look, here, you gonna go out there amongst the boys, but you gotta be ready for it.
Absolutely. This is the impact of systematic racism and discrimination that we have to teach our children that, hey, you could be profiled, you could be targeted. There's a different standard for children that are, so mothers, like we just said, are educators. They have to teach the children, especially our male children, that look, this world sometimes is not for you in the way that it should be, and you've got to be aware of it.
Especially if you're an African American child.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Incumbent mothering, the consistent awareness of potential racial threats, of course. And so many other things that we have to teach our children and be aware of as African American women. Historical content and resilience, historical trauma, what happened in slavery and things like that. Parenting style and approaches sometimes are historically different. Likelihood of physical discipline. Now, so many of us can think about African American mothers and their discipline, and at times it was harsh, Let's not look. We're not gonna sugarcoat. Sometimes it was close to the A word.
That's right.
But we got our whippings.
Let me tell you about.
And sometimes we got our whippings, and it won't just with the hand.
I'm telling you, I'm a full-grown man, and my mama still had the priority over me if she was here today. I remember I was getting ready to preach a message in church one Sunday, and I was chewing some bubble gum, chewing gum in the pulpit. My mom looked up at me and stuck her finger in her mouth as if to tell me, to give me the sign to take that bubble gum out of your mouth. And I looked around. I said, I'm grown. I ain't gonna take it out my mouth. So when they introduced me to go and preach, my mama came right up there, put a hand in front of my mouth, slapped me in my face, and said, "Now preach."
Whipping with anything, switches, whatever, brooms, whatever they could get. But also now it's a shift toward gentler parenting. We're glad about that. But still, some of y'all need to stop cursing these children out. Just stop cursing so much. That's one thing y'all need to work on. Woo! I know other races do, but I know African American mothers sometimes do a number. But anyway, happy Mother's Day to all you all. Sheila Green, Sheila Roberts, all you all out there. Happy Mother's Day. You all are blessed and highly favored, and we thank God for you. Have a wonderful Mother's Day.
For the past 30 minutes, you've been listening to the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. That's FYI Radio Show with your host, Miss Yolanda Lady Hinton. I'm Everette, the co-host. If you'd like to be a special sponsor or special guest or intern or be in our audience, all you got to do is give us a call at 757-714-7861, or you can email us at FYIRadiosHowLive@gmail.com. If you email us your email, we email you right back to let you know what date that you could be in our audience. Don't forget to join us right here on WGPL 1350, WPCE 1400, WMVA 88.9 Peace, 95.3 FM. And don't forget to have a wonderful, 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 supernatural Mother's Day. Bye now.
Wow, happy Mother's Day again. Oh, talking about being a mother. It is an awesome, awesome, awesome thing that God gives us as women to carry them. That's a beautiful experience, and to birth them. And they teach us so much they teach us so much to make us better. They teach us a lot to make us better, and we teach them as well. Look, we got some upcoming shows. Let's see. We have our Monday Sports Talk Live. Oh my God. Did y'all see that game last night?
Last night I saw the game, Miss Hinton, and I was so disappointed. I wasn't disappointed, but I like the style. I like what was going on because it shows us that you got to win. It tells us that you got to win. You got to come out and play ball, regardless if your main folk are not there.
Well, the main thing is that they got another chance.
That's right. It's 1-1. 1-1.
And so this is marvelous. This is what's so good about it. When you don't win one, you can win a few more. You can make it to the top. Yeah. Also, Mr. E's Around the Town with Edward Everett, Community News. We're going to be doing that on Monday. You all tune in, FYI After Dark. And also Relationships 2025 with Alicia Bennett and a few other people on the panel. You all join us for our FYI After Dark. Also, we will schedule, by popular demand, Jason Baker back here for cryptocurrency. We're going to do another, if you all didn't see it, part two. Bitcoin. We're going to do part two. Yeah. If you all didn't see part one, I'm going to put it back on the post so you all can see it and then join us in, because a lot of people are interested in cryptocurrency and want to know what it is, why it is, and should I get involved in it. You may not have a choice, but anyway, it's coming. Okay. Also, what else? What do we have? Oh, we have coming up Wednesday on FYI Radio Morning Show. We have What's Under the Hat, Fentanyl Crisis with guest Michael Marshall and one of his panelists. They will be here. They're having a convention talking about the crisis coming up in May. And so we're going to highlight some of the problems that people are having. And it's been out here for a while and it's getting worse because, Mr. E, we have, with the Young Women Achieving Success, we have Ms. Veronica McMillan coming to talk and do a demonstration and activity with the girls about this fentanyl crisis as well. Okay, so our Fun Friday Women's Issue, of course, we'll do that. Also, please follow us on social media. And you can also be a special guest, intern or sponsor with FYI Radio Show.
And if you'd like to be a special guest, intern or sponsor of the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world, all you got to do is give us a call at 757-714-7861 or email us at FYIRadiosHowLive@gmail.com.
Go ahead, Mr. E. Hold up, I'm trying to. Okay,
at gmail.com.
All right, it's just so much going on here. Okay, so listen, you all have a wonderful Mother's Day. Get back with us on Monday morning for our sports talk and NBA. It's our NBA playoffs.
Yes.
Make sure you all look.
Yes.
And also After Dark with Around the Town. God bless you. Have a wonderful weekend and a beautiful Mother's Day.
2 up, 2 down, VA.